You don't have to be within this box. आप कर सकते हो, बहुत कर सकते हो. Don't think that you are limited. I've had really bad. I had my laptop stolen once because it was in Dubai World Trade Center. उन्होंने कैमरा के थ्रू देखा ये कौन है. They traced him all the way to the metro to where he lives.
Wow.
And actually, the first day, because I have an iPhone, I could track him. So I went outside his building. The 1 minute pitch came. I came on stage. I was the 10th of 12.
All right.
And I came on stage. I said the first. You have to memorize that 1 minute speech. I said the first sentence, and then I went blank. There's a whole auditorium. It's all black. Lights are coming on you, and pin drop silence. Oh, phir main bola, shit.
Pakistan Association has, from the last that I've heard, around 5,000 volunteers.
That's amazing.
Across various programs. Hub 47 is a part of that, looking to connect with people like you, entrepreneurs, Pakistani achievers, and helping create a community of Pakistani entrepreneurs in Dubai, in UAE.
My startup's called Viewit, and we started in March of 2020. Before that, I was in real estate, so since 2005, everyone can upskill on YouTube. Everyone on the planet. If you have an internet connection and the worst mobile phone, but it runs YouTube, you can learn anything.
You hold the badge of being the only UAE startup who's got into that. Is that correct?
We are the only UAE startup that got into Techstars Chicago. Yes, I believe that's true.
Yeah.
Fundraising is tough. It's really hard in Dubai. Very hard. बहुत मुश्किल है.
Assalamu alaikum Nazreen Sameen. Welcome to Pace Podcast by Hub 47 here at Pakistan Association Dubai. This is your host Ali Akram. यहाँ हम आपके साथ आपके मेंटर्स को शेयर करते हैं, पाकिस्तानी अचीवर से बातचीत करते हैं, वो अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस आपके साथ शेयर करते हैं ताकि आपको फ़ायदा हो. आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं फरहान जुनैद साहब, who is the CEO and founder of Viewit. Viewit is a prop tech platform here in Dubai and in Pakistan. फरहान अपने कुछ एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करेंगे और अपना जर्नी आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे. Do comment and share your feedback, and we hope you enjoy the next session. Assalamu alaikum Farhan, welcome to Hub 47.
Alaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me. Beautiful place.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time out. Thank you for coming here and sharing your views. How do you find it so far? You've taken a tour of the place.
Incredible place. I grew up in Dubai, so we used to come here when we were younger, but they've expanded it. The medical facility looks amazing. It's so clean, so nice. I'm really impressed. Really, genuinely.
We're glad. I think it's an amazing achievement as a Pakistani. जब आप देखते हैं दुबई में, this just shows you, what can be achieved when you are coming in with the right motivation, right intentions.
Yep.
People are committed to creating something which has a high standard of service.
Yeah. And everyone's doing it voluntarily for the most part.
Yes, for the most part. I mean, Pakistan Association has, from the last that I've heard, around 5,000 volunteers.
That's amazing.
Across various programs.
Alhamdulillah.
So it's just great. And, Hub 47 is a part of that, looking to connect with people like you, entrepreneurs, Pakistani achievers, and, helping create a community of Pakistani entrepreneurs in Dubai, in UAE, helping them supporting them to come here and access the market.
Yeah, it's like an incubation center.
It's like an incubation center. It's like a platform, much like yourself. So everything, we're trying to create an ecosystem which supports everything. So you have startups who will go through incubation, who will receive mentorship. You have the investors as well, looking for deals, possibly coming in and supporting startups where they can. You have the community of professionals and existing people who are looking to contribute to the ecosystem, तो बहुत से लोग हैं जो इधर होते हैं, पाकिस्तानी होते हैं, उनके दिल में जज्बा होता है कि कुछ करें पाकिस्तान के लिए, बट कोई आउटलेट नहीं होता, कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं होता. तो हमारा ये ऑब्जेक्टिव है इस अम्ब्रेला के अंडर, पाकिस्तान एसोसिएशन के अंडर, which is known for its objectivity, independence, to create this, and people can come in and contribute.
Great. It's a very noble cause. you see a lot of negativity and pessimism about Pakistan, but it's very, very, very encouraging to see that we're trying to encourage talent, which there's a lot of in Pakistan and in Dubai amongst our people. So it's great to see that.
Absolutely, right? Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Mashallah, you are running a startup at the moment, and I define startup success as just having proof of concept, having traction, being in revenue as well, generating revenue. That's definitely a success. So I'm classifying you as a successful startup already, although it's in its early stages. But just achieving that, saying that up. Tell us about a little bit about your background, a little bit about the journey. कैसे आपने इसके बारे में सोचा?
Sure.
Take us through it.
So my startup's called Viewit, and we started in March of 2020. Before that, I was in real estate, so since 2005, that dates me now. But since 2005, I've been running a real estate agency.
Right.
We had a company called New World Real Estate, and we launched at the time when Dubai's real estate market just started. There was nothing here. I grew up here, but anyway.
2005 must be desert all around.
Yeah, it was desert all around. The first project up was Marina 6, the 6 towers in Marina.
Yes.
That came up. And then slowly Springs, Meadows, Greens, Emirates Living was coming up. And in those days, we thought that was like Dubai South as we find it today. But now you can see where it's come to. So we started, New World was the name of the company. We grew to, I think, 50 employees. We had 2 offices. We were doing really well. It's the case where it was the genesis of the industry, and as they say, a rising tide brings up all the ships. So, in those days we were fighting to hold back customers. Our phones would be ringing. We would choose कि किसको हम कौन सी रेड बटन को हम प्रेस करें और बात करें जो जिसको प्रॉपर्टी खरीदनी है ऑफ प्लान. उस दिन में एस्क्रो भी नहीं होती थी. It was the Wild West. मतलब projects आप शुरू कर लें और building नहीं बनाए, you collect the money and nothing happens. So anyway,
we've all heard stories of Palm Jumeirah paper पे जो है trading हो रही है.
Yeah, there's a Palm Jumeirah. Yes, there's actually a place, the Pakistani investor graveyard called Emirates City in Ajman.
Oh yes, I
don't know if you've heard of that. So a lot of prominent Pakistanis with good intention came in to build buildings up there. Again, because of no escrow laws, they would take the money, spend it somewhere else.
And obviously the global financial crisis, all of that played a role as well.
So in 2008, the crisis hit. But okay, coming back to the journey. So I continued doing that till about 2020. March of 2020, COVID hit. And as a real estate agency owner, we couldn't do viewings, right? If you were here, you had to send an SMS just to leave the house.
Yes.
And you could only leave the house to go to the doctor, to buy grocery, or to go to the police. Like 3 things. But we, as agents, we were not getting paid anything. We had to make money somehow. So we would go out, take videos of listings, and then send it to our clients. If the client liked it, we'd say, look, you cannot leave, we cannot leave. Why don't you just send us the money to book the unit, and then as and when we can get out to see the unit, we'll figure it out. But for now, just book.
Okay.
So essentially, what happened is we were booking units sight unseen with video. So technology helped us to solve this very big problem that's there generally. So then I started to, I was always interested in coding and apps and things like that. I did a course at SAE in Media City. So I started to put something together on my Mac with Swift, and then I got my CTO on board, Zaki Patel, shout out to him, he's in Canada. And he helped me to sort of put it a little bit more together. And then a lot of other steps came, and then we built the app. Right. Then we launched the app, we got agents to use it, we started uploading videos to the platform, and the initial reaction was very good. So basically, what Viewit is we are a video real estate platform, which means that every listing that you see on our platform is a video tour as opposed to images and text.
Amazing. I always prefer personally, those listings which you can actually see as much as you can. I think video you get a different perspective. You can get fooled by pictures, but you can't get fooled by videos.
Yeah. We couldn't do this podcast on pictures, right? We have to. So everything has moved to video. In fact, 90% of internet traffic in 2023 was video. But generally, less than 10% of listings online, on real estate listings, are video or 360 or any sort of immersive content. So we wanted to bridge that very obvious gap that the whole world is moving towards video, especially the younger generation.
Yeah.
The average time spent on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat is 90 minutes, whereas the average time spent on a property platform is around 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's almost 10, 12x increase. So it's just an obvious shift that we took advantage of.
Great. But, when you were talking about video, I kind of analyzed, platforms, websites. The problem that existed earlier, let's say going back 10 years, was videos take up a lot of space as well. There's data there. I'm sure you had to deal with that challenge when you set out thinking that video is more engaging. There must have been a point where you would have hit that roadblock. Oh shit! I need a lot of servers.
Yeah, for sure. So initially we thought to do it via YouTube, but I was wholeheartedly against that. I said I want to build my own thing.
Right.
It was a naive decision, but I think it was the right decision in retrospect. So there is a lot of help for startups out there. We reached out to Google Cloud in those days, GCP. They gave us $1,500 worth of credit, so that was good. But what we didn't know is that it really lasted for 3 months. AWS also gave us, I think, $1,000 of free credit. It's nothing to them.
Yes.
They're mammoths. So we took that. It allowed us to build. And then when GCP ran out, we did Step in 2021, I think, which is a startup event in Dubai, in Internet City. We met someone from Azure, or a third-party reseller of Azure. Anyway, long story short, we signed up to Azure. We got 15,000 in credit. Then we increased that to 50. Now we're on $150,000 in free credit from Azure. So to answer your question, is that there's a lot of resources out there if you look. If you join incubation centers, they're affiliated with AWS, GCP, Azure. Oracle now has a really good cloud program as well. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Great to know.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of stuff. Hopefully, we'll get more out of you.
Sure.
Our objective at Hub 47 is that startups who are looking to set up get a better understanding of the landscape. कि कहाँ जा सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं. How was it? And from your introduction, what I found very interesting was that you actually knew how to code. You weren't a CTO profile, but you had that curiosity. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. To understand. I think that just opens up possibilities, right? When you start learning, speaking to a person who has ideas, who wants to do something, how does your mind open up to possibilities once you understand how it works?
Yeah, really good question. I think that if you know the framework to some extent, then you are less susceptible to be lied to.
Yes.
Right? So people can take you for a ride. Ki, yaar, is pe 80 ghante lagenge. It's very difficult. But then if you break it down to its components, then you can say that no, it doesn't. Especially with tools nowadays, with AI, with GitHub Copilot and all these other things. A 1x coder has now become a 10x coder. There's a lot of resources out there to help you with coding. I did a course at SAE. In those days, it was called Xcode. Now it's called Swift for programming on an iOS.
Okay.
So that sort of set to some extent the foundation. And then there's so many other courses you can do. You can do Udemy. You can do Coursera. You can do YouTube. YouTube is free. Everyone can upskill on YouTube. Everyone on the planet. If you have an internet connection and the worst mobile phone, but it runs YouTube, you can learn anything.
Yeah.
YouTube is a great resource as well.
I think you just have to make the decision and dedicate time.
Yeah, you got to put the time in. It's really nitpicky. Matlab aapko, you get an error and you have to see where the error is for yourself, but that builds your resilience. Ki aap, matlab, you become.
I think that's such an important point, because once you understand where the error is coming from. And if you build the product yourself, I think we had another founder recently who had a similar story of not being a CTO profile, but then, because he was involved in the product build, he could spot where the error was and could guide the dev team, in fact, in identifying the issue where it could be. So that's fantastic. How has the journey been so far?
Yeah, it's good. It's tough. Shout out to my team. I'm going to name them if you don't mind.
Great. Yeah, no.
Abdullah is our CTO. Ashar is our CMO. I couldn't have done it without these two guys. Then we have Iftikhar, who's our React guy, front-end dev guy. Then we have Yasser, who's in Pakistan, very talented Flutter developer. And then we have Hamdan, who's our Python AI guy. Okay. We have Orisha, who is our... she also does like data analytics for the ML thing that we're coming out, which I'll get into. And lastly, and biggest shout out to Olivia, who's our sales person. So the journey has been good. Very quickly, we did GTEx in 20... We've done GTEx since 21, 22... 23 and now 24. So 21 we got it for free through In5. We were part of In5, which is an incubation center in Knowledge Village. 22 also we got it for free. 23 we paid, and then 24 we've paid as well. 22 I met my CTO Abdullah. So I had my booth. I was all alone. I didn't have any co-founders. It was really tough. I did have two co-founders, Atif and Ayan, shout out to them. But they dropped because they had work and life and everything else. So I kind of kept pushing the ball up the hill by myself. बहुत मुश्किल है लेकिन कर लिया था. So I did GTEx. We met a lot of people. Abdullah came by, said, "What are you working on?" I said, "We have this video real estate site." In those days, it was very clunky. बहुत old school design. मैंने हर चीज़ खुद Adobe XD पे design. So he's like, "Look, I run a web development studio, and I can help you to redo this whole thing." So he came on board for free for a long time. Then I promised him equity. Then he has a very good... His best friend in those days, Ashar, was in Islamabad. Right. He's a very talented designer. So Ashar came on board. He completely revamped the whole website, the look and feel of our branding and all that stuff. And then we just kept working and sort of iterating the product. Eventually, I... then applied to Techstars. So I can get into Techstars.
Yeah. I think we can get into that. I think you hold the badge of being the only UAE startup who's got into that. Is that correct?
We are the only UAE startup that got into Techstars Chicago. Yes, I believe that's true. Yeah.
All right.
There's another one that got into NYC, New York City. We're the only one that got into Chicago.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
So Techstars, applying to Techstars is the tough part. I've been on, I became aware of Y Combinator and Techstars, Plug and Play, Startup Bootcamp, all these accelerator programs early on in about 21, 22. What accelerators do is that they actually invest money and then they train you for 3 to 6 months, depending on the program. So YC is the best by far. Coinbase, Uber, Airbnb, DoorDash, household names have graduated from there. Similarly, Techstars, YC ka chota bhai hai, in a way, right? So there's GridLink, TradingView. There's a bunch of really big startups in the US that have graduated from Techstars. They have 50 programs worldwide. So we apply to everyone. मैं तो आँख बंद करके हर जगह apply कर दिया. It's all online. And we applied to Techstars Chicago. The key is that you have to build a rapport with them. You can't just apply and say, "Yeah, Allah, please let me get in." You have to put the effort in, जिस पे आप देखें कि इस program का director कौन है, investment associate कौन है, उसका report कौन है, and then you keep going down the line. You find someone, you LinkedIn all of them, you email them. Normally they're responsive. They have a lot on their plate because they're managing at any one time 12 companies.
Yes.
Because each cohort has 12 companies. So you have to find them at the right time, but they will respond if you have a compelling pitch or a compelling product and idea and so on. So I reached out to Brad Schnitzer in Chicago. Shout out to him. Amazing guy. He's just been promoted actually in Techstars. And he just started talking to me. So what are you guys doing and so on. Then we applied. I applied the first time, we didn't get in. The second time we applied, Neil, who's a program director, shout out to him, very nice guy. He said he sent us a personalized YouTube video. Said, "Look, I'm only sending this to the, 4 or 5 companies who were really interesting. I'm not, apply again, and we'll most likely accept you."
Okay.
So that was very encouraging.
Wow.
So then we applied again. So the time that I got that message, I was again alone. The third time I applied, I was with my co-founders. You have to make a 1-minute pitch video.
All right.
It's no effects, no shosha. Just talk to the camera. Ki kya kar rahe ho? What problem are you solving? How do you plan to scale? And how much have you done so far? What's your traction? So we did all that. We uploaded the video. Alhamdulillah, they liked it. But then I just kept talking to them, as if I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to a friend. You don't be respectful, but talk to them and share your wins and your losses. So I was doing that, and in those early days, we had a lot of losses, obviously.
Yeah.
And then eventually we got in. There's a whole grueling, I would say 3-4 week program ki aap apne KPIs upload karo. Every program has their own. Techstars has 50 programs.
This is the application process.
This is the application. So
4-week application process.
Give or take, yeah. It's like when you get into a very high profile job, you go through many interview cycles, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's similar to that. So the first is like, okay, you are shortlisted. Well, congratulations, but now we get down to work. So upload your.
How many people apply?
1,200 people apply.
Oh, wow.
And
12 get it.
12 get in. So 1% acceptance.
1%.
Over 1,200 people applied from all over the world, mostly from the US. So anyway, congratulations, you're shortlisted. Now upload your KPIs, do a lean canvas. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Upload your financials. उस दिन में कुछ financials थे ही नहीं. लेकिन जो भी था हमने upload कर दिया. Or your projections rather. Upload your code stack and all this kind of stuff. Then they would look at it and then they would grade you. So it's kind of like going to uni/job interview. तो उसके बाद फिर again they would cut after the first week and then cut. So it's kind of like Survivor. तो फिर last में आपको जाके interviews करने होते हैं. Then you have to pitch to the investment committee. What tough.
That's interesting. Okay.
So in every interview, this is why I have my shirt on. We used to have our shirt on just to give that extra touch. We made Viewit backgrounds because everything's online on Zoom. So that also give a little extra touch. And this is a small hack for everyone. So get your branding done. And so we had to pitch to the investment associate. We had people from Picasso is a big property portal out there. We had someone from Amazon. So we had
they curate the committee based on what the startup is that they value.
No, they curate the committee based on the whole 12 cohort.
I see.
I think the 30 that they pick, the last batch before they cut down to the 12 or 30 or 40, whatever it is.
I see.
तो वो बहुत मुश्किल होता है because वो आपको प्रेस करते हैं कि भाई आप क्या कर रहे हो, किस लिए कर रहे हो, ये नहीं चलने वाला है, नहीं चलेगा नहीं, क्यों, अब you tell me कि क्यों चलेगा ये, like कौन से दुनिया में चलेगा, because don't fool yourself. So anyway, long story short, we got through that, alhamdulillah, and then finally, I'll never forget the day that they called us. और फिर वो कहते हैं भाई, they just email, बहुत ही clandestine email करते हैं कि भाई कॉल पे आओ, आपसे बात करनी है. तो हम सब की तो क्या बोलने वाले कि you thanks for your effort or apply next time. So me and my team put our shirts on, got on the call. They're like, "Are you sitting down?" I said yes. And then, okay, just want to let you know you're in. And we all jumped up and we were super happy. Like, it was one of the greatest moments of my life, honestly. and then you have to fly out to Chicago. So then I think it was around this time, the last year, that they kind of gave us the okay, and then they said, okay, so get ready. You have to fly to Chicago for 1 week of orientation. Then there's 3 months of work. So anyway, the 1 week of orientation. Shall I stop or shall I continue going?
No, carry on.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No.
So anyway,
I just to add a comment. I mean, I'm sure you're aware. We're trying to create an incubation program at Hub as well. So I think this experience that you're sharing is going to be very valuable for people, startups who are new. Again, we see that a lot. People have a good product, a good idea, but they don't have the financials, they don't know how to pitch,
Mhm.
they're not aware of those branding elements that are required,
Yeah.
and we've tried to cover that over here. So I think what you're about to share is really important.
Sure.
I think maybe if you could comment a little bit about that, just in a summary before we go into details. What do you think? What impact has it had on your journey so far, and how will it impact you in the next 5 years as well? That's your
The
big-
Techstars?
Yeah.
The Techstars program is, you go for the first week, it's orientation, it's a lot of fun and kind of getting to know each other. But the rest of the 3 months is they teach you how to pitch, they teach you how to build a pitch deck, they teach you about the importance of KPIs, your key performance indicators per week. I mean, for example, we are a marketplace, right? So traffic kitni aayi hai, how many conversions did you get, what's the revenue like, what's the churn like, matlab, you know, people, if you have agents on the platform, how many have come, how many have gone, and why have they gone?
All the different balls you need to keep your eye on.
Yes, all the different balls, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is really hard. What tools are you using to track these on a very minute by minute basis? How important all of this is into your financials. So financials is a whole different ball game. The way I thought it's meant to be done is not how it's meant to be done. Very quick, actually, you're a finance guy, so you know this stuff better than me. But you have to, simply put, you have to have an assumptions tab, and then you have to have your projections. And what they teach you in Techstars, Troy Hennikoff, he's the MD of Math Ventures, one of the biggest VC firms in Chicago. Very smart guy, very tough. Oh, बहुत tough था. He was like an older, tougher guy. But I respond to that kind of thing. So anyway, long story, वो समझाते कि भाई assumptions रखो और फिर projections रखो और वहाँ पे you have to tweak the assumptions. So if your CPC or if your Google Ads budget has gone up, then how does that affect 3 months down the line exactly?
Yeah.
Or so
because that's the most important thing. If it's garbage that's coming in, it's going to be garbage that's coming out.
Exactly.
Assumptions are, but then how do you go about? I mean, I'm sure you would have gained perspective on how to set the right assumptions and have the right inputs as well.
Well, only after a lot of iteration, testing, and abhi tak, even till now, I'd say I've not figured it out, but we're working at it every day. Because we're a marketplace, the biggest driver is traffic, and then second is conversions. So if we get 100,000 people coming to the site a month, what percentage of those are converting?
Yes.
Are clicking on the email, WhatsApp, and call buttons on our website? So if that is being done at more than, I don't know, 8 to 10%, then it's a good platform.
That's really good. Yeah.
If it is.
Yeah.
अभी तक तो नहीं है, लेकिन कोशिश ये है कि यहाँ तक पहुँच जाए.
Okay.
So this is the sort of things that they teach
and
you.
what is the kind of profile that a program like Techstars Chicago looks for? Why was it that you got selected, especially when probably 1,180 others were in line and had probably good ideas as well? I mean, every can have a good idea. What do you think are the key factors that they're looking for in a startup?
They're looking for tenacity. मतलब आप छोड़ो नहीं, बस keep at it. I kept doing it. I was not getting any monetary thing out of it. ये मेरा अपना है. It's like your child, So I think they're looking for tenacity, someone that doesn't give up. Because I continued applying, I kept bugging them. उनको छोड़ो मत. They're like, चलो, let's give this guy a shot. The second thing they look at is team. And the third thing they look at it is potential product market fit. Potential. कि अभी तो product market fit नहीं. This is what every company, whether startup or multinational, is striving for, is product market fit. तो अगर अभी नहीं तो is the timing right? Is the product decent? Does the team complement each other? So I have 17, 18 years of real estate experience. Abdullah has CTO experience, and then Ashur has branding experience. Actually, this small team of one guy that has domain expertise, one guy has a decent amount of technical ability to build the product, and third is a branding guy. That's all you really need initially. You don't need anything else. And ideally, all should be on no salary or very low salary, so that ताकि आपकी runway लंबी हो, and then you can build that product out.
Great.
So to anyway answer your question quickly about what they look for is tenacity, product market fit. Can they fly to the US? Alhamdulillah, I'm Canadian also.
Yeah.
I didn't have an issue, but my two co-founders, unko nahi mili. And what one of the investment associates, Chloe Lannert, lovely girl, she actually wrote to the senator of Illinois.
Oh.
Huh. Because they're, anyway, so she wrote and she said, there's this amazing startup that we've picked for Techstars Chicago 2023. Please let these two Pakistanis in. They're smart and young and very driven. Koi response nahi aaya. Lekin we did get, so if you have ever gone through applying for US visa, interview bahut mahino baad aati hai.
Yes.
We got it in like 3 days because of this letter and some other strings that they pulled. So they got to the interview, लेकिन नहीं मिला visa.
What a heartbreak.
बस वो American, the US thinks कि जो भी वहाँ पे जाता है वो वापस नहीं आएगा. This is the biggest problem.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt कि आप वापस आने वाले हो, आपके situation यहाँ पे जहाँ पे भी हो is good enough that you'll come back. And
actually, that's a good point to highlight about. I think when you look at the UAE, they're far more welcoming and open. Although there are issues as well, you hear about that. But कोई भी बंदा who's coming in with the right intention, जो वाकई में काम करने आ रहा है, and especially these guys are very focused on building a knowledge-based economy. So somebody like your CTO, obviously, I think will be welcome here at any time. And there's a big, and you're in real estate, so you know that about the migration trend that's happening as well. People coming in from the UK, from Germany, all because of this reason, because talent, getting talent in, getting approvals in is a big challenge anywhere else in the world except this place. And I think they've cracked that very well.
Yeah. My co-founders grew up here. They live in Sharjah and they love this place.
Yeah.
So it's been very helpful to have them all here. Ashar initially was in Islamabad, then luckily, alhamdulillah, like he's still living with his family, so his family moved back to UAE, and now we're all together.
We'll talk later about challenges as well. It's easy to set up and do that, but I'm sure it's difficult in other aspects, and we'll probably touch on them, like fundraising, like the financial environment for startups.
Yeah.
Again, we have to mature, but it's a process, and we're on that journey as a destination.
Sure.
Yeah. So you landed there, you got oriented.
Yes.
Had fun.
Yeah.
Got to know the people. उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
उसके बाद फिर basically it's 3 months of Zoom calls every single day. They would talk about your revenue model. They would talk about your financial deck. The first one that I remember was the financials, which is one of the most important workshops that we had. They talk about your pitch deck, how to pitch, who to pitch to, how to raise capital from angel investors. Not everything has to be institutional. In fact, at pre-seed and seed, vast majority of investments is from angels. So they tell you how to pitch to them, which networks to reach out to, and how to cold email, what tools that there are. There's a tool called Paper Street that you can use to send out cold investor updates. Investors don't just write a check. You have to build a 6-month relationship with them. तो आप email करते रहो जब तक वो कहते हैं अच्छा ये मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है because आपने 3 महीने पहले बोला था कि ये 30% पे था अब ये 75% पे आ गया. How did you do it? And then you start that conversation. Yeah, these kind of things. Because we were from Dubai, there's a little bit of a asymmetry. So, out of the 12 startups, 11 of them were from the US. And most of them were from Chicago, some were from New York and some other places, but I was the only Dubai guy. So to some extent, some things didn't apply. A lot of them were like, look, you're in the biggest market economy, $26 trillion economy in the world, 320 million people. Our TAM is not that big. Dubai mein to 9-10 million log hain.
Yeah.
UAE mein 3.5 in Dubai million. So it didn't always translate, right? Lekin I took it in as much as I could, and I updated it to our situation. So ye tha, and then anyway 3 months of this, and then the last week we had to fly back to Chicago in December. बहुत ठंड थी. December? हाँ. और we have to go pitch. अच्छा मैं आपको embarrassing story बताऊँ.
We love those.
Okay, sure. तो मैं pitch करने गया. मैं फिर से शिकागो वापस गया ठंड में और basically the couple of days it was again orientation, workshops, and then just hanging out and saying get ready for the pitch. So pitch practice बहुत हुई थी. Go on the stage. So the format is you have a 1-minute pitch, you have a 1-minute video behind you which you have to put together, a good high production one, and then you have a 6-minute Q&A, right? तो उस Q&A में आप you'll sit with one of the investment associates of Techstars and they'll ask you a bunch of questions which are pre-scripted. So anyway, so we got to that point, the 1-minute pitch came, I came on stage, I was the 10th of 12.
All right.
And I came on stage, I said the first, you have to memorize that 1-minute speech. I said the first sentence and then I went blank. There's a whole auditorium, it's all black, lights are coming on you, and pin drop silence. Oh, phir main bola, shit. I was so nervous, I hadn't slept. Anyway, man, it was tough. So anyway, but the great thing about the Americans is they all started cheering because they know that, this happens sometimes. So they started going, come on, let's go. And that kind of, बहुत मुश्किल से I just kind of stumbled it out. And I said my pitch and everyone clapped. And then I was meant to exit the stage from the left. मैं गलती से right से उतर गया. वो कह रहे यार तुम क्या कर रहे हो यहाँ से आना है. तो फिर and I remember आपने बोले Pakistani guy, only brown guy on the side. So anyway, कौन आ गया? Anyway, they were totally fine. They're like this happens.
This happens.
So then the video played. The video was great because it showed the TikTok of real estate, which you can go check out on Viewit.
I saw that. Yeah.
Right.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah. And then we had the 6-minute Q&A. That Q&A went really well. So this kind of stuff I'm easy with. And that we kind of got some laughs out of it. I made fun of myself when I was on stage for that minute. And it was great. So anyway, then the pitch was over. That was the end of Techstars. Then what they say is, bhai, everyone grab a table, like a small little round table, and go stand at your table. Whoever gets the most people at their table is the winner of Techstars. Because the whole point is that there's a bunch of angels there, there's some institutional investors, mostly from the East Coast, New York, Chicago, and New Jersey and places like that. So we all went to our tables. And I thought, yeah, I screwed up my pitch, no one's going to want to talk to me. So I just skulked there. I stood there. There's a line of people that came to talk to me, and I'm alone. Like I said, my co-founders couldn't come. And we had by far the most traffic to our table, alhamdulillah. Because the idea is very easy to understand. The other guys were doing some really other complicated stuff, but ours was easy to understand. The video resonated. Our Q&A was understood by the people in the audience. So. Alhamdulillah, we got to speak to a lot of people. A lot of people said, please launch this in the US. When are you launching in the US?
I wanted to ask that. मैंने कहा ये कब हो रहा है?
पैसे नहीं यार. You have to raise to US is expensive.
It is.
But yeah, so that was the end of Techstars. It was a good and very interesting experience. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Amazing. And when you say, is there a winner or all of them are winners?
They're all winners. Out of the 12 companies, one closed, and two have raised big money. Echo Labs and FreshX. They do third-party logistics. Echo Labs has come up. Shout out to them. They have come up with a very cool tech that can transcribe videos, like what we're talking right now.
Oh, perfect! I need that.
Yeah, and they do it using. आपकी जो mouth की movements होती हैं ना?
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Image recognition.
All right.
Really, 20-year-old guy. He was 19 in program, 20 साल का. He's raised the highest amount of money in Chicago, in pre-seed Chicago history, $7.7 million.
Pre-seed.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's 20. His co-founder is Indian, Sahan, also 20. But they're kids. And, it was incredible to see their journey. Now they have like 75 staff. They have a big office in Chicago. But anyway.
It brings me, I mean, because you mentioned that, and we're, हम थोड़ा सा comparison draw करेंगे between our culture, whether it's Pakistani or over here, versus the ecosystem and the environment and the impact it has. Do you think? Probably the answer is no. But do you think in our environment can we generate that kind of talent who can be a founder at the age of 20, raise $2 million, not seven?
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing with the US is कि you don't have to have a day job. यहाँ पे अगर आपके पास day job नहीं है तो आप you can't live here, right? If you don't have a visa, if you don't have a job,
Yes.
you have to do something
You
to
have-
support yourself. US में they can get by. They can live at home. They can get grants from university. A lot of them got grants from the university. A lot of them went to University of Chicago, so they got grants from there, $50,000. That country is flush with cash, especially for ideas, innovation. Genuinely, they want to support you.
Ah.
So I think, and
We're
then the
not-
market size is, it's the biggest market in the world. Like I said, $26 trillion,
Yeah.
trillion dollar market economy.
I guess
So,
what I kind of feel intuitively is the knowledge ecosystem as well. The universities,
Yes.
MIT, Caltech, Stanford, 10 others which I don't know of, but they're there, and people are right at their doorsteps looking at what's coming out of this place, what's coming out of this place. Let me get in.
you have to organically build up.
It takes
So,
time.
It takes time. So I think the reason why the US has done so well, like you said, MIT, Caltech, Stanford, ये organically आए हैं ना, और उसके ऊपर फिर आता है जो tech stack होता है या whatever you want to call these Silicon Valley and startups.
Yes.
On top of that, on top of the foundation is the science, and on top of that comes the technology, and on top of that you get these amazing startups. But without them, you can't do anything. You can't artificially do that. But I think Pakistanis have incredible talent. In Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad. We've worked with a lot of tech guys. Ahmed from Cherry Bite in Lahore, big shout out to him, very talented guy. Great team of 70, 80 brilliant software developers. So there's a lot of talent. I think if you have 1 or 2 years of your own runway, you're very passionate, you can find a market, somehow you can get recurring revenue. Pakistan mein to mushkil hai. The reason it's difficult in Pakistan is for us, you don't have payment automation. So the greatest godsend is Stripe, या PayMob, या all these kind of tools where you don't have to go chase people for money. वो जो chase होता है ना वो बहुत मुझे तो I don't like it at all. Because I did that in real estate. I know how hard it is.
Yes.
But you put someone's credit card on Stripe and it continues, and you continue to deliver them value and leads and
course.
whatever it is. But you don't have to chase them. वो बस auto pay आ गया. और वो आप 1000 लोग के साथ कर ले 3000 लोग, and then you have a monthly recurring revenue business. Then you are a business, not a startup. And that is the goal. So Pakistan doesn't have such a thing. Someone should build that for Pakistan if they can.
Yeah.
Some fintech smart guy.
But I think the ingredients are there, right? आपके पास just an interplay between UAE and Pakistan. You have this place where the cost to develop, create product is cheap, and then you have this place, and if you're based here, like you are, you can get premium on sales because the market allows for that. The market accommodates that. Maybe not so much in your model where it's a marketplace, but generally B2B or any other kind of product would gain traction. There's that arbitrage, as you would call it, between what you can get on the top end versus what you have to pay for it.
That's a very good point. The cost of production in Pakistan is obviously a lot cheaper. There's a lot of talent, really good talent out there. And you have to build and ship a product there is much cheaper than it is in the US. A lot of the cohort of mine from Techstars Chicago continue to ask me for references to Pakistani developers.
Amazing.
And I referred them again to Ahmed of Cherry Bite.
Right.
So I think 1 or 2 contracts were signed with him.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, the cost to develop in Pakistan, and the tools are the same. You have the same Xcode, you have the same Swift, you have the same JavaScript, everything, and these kids are really smart out there. So you get that.
I mean,
Delta.
again, Pakistani बारे में challenges going through financially, economically.
Yeah.
Technology and the tech sector is a way that can really have an impact in a short period of time. Anything else takes more time, and we always argue that over here on our platform. Kate, if you enable more people to add value to the country, this can really go in a very good direction really quickly.
For sure.
In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Like I said, Pakistan, the TAM is huge. There's 220 million people, 60% below the age of 30, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of tech and software guys. Adoption to tech is huge. Everyone has a mobile phone. Obviously, we have problems. Which country doesn't? But there's a lot of potential in Pakistan. We have a business running there. We have 3,500 agents on the platform in Pakistan. They're not paying regularly. It's tough, but anyway, the platform is running there and it's going well. Alhamdulillah.
I think that's another important point. You have a very nice testing ground, sandbox.
Yes.
In a way, right?
Yeah.
Not as much regulation. Build your product, test it out. There's a good amount of people who will start using it. It's nice to gain traction, see feedback, collect feedback, get that feedback loop running, as you say. And improve.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. In fact, that's why we launched Pakistan as an A/B test, because Dubai is expensive. If you screw up, once you kind of screwed up. लेकिन Pakistan में अगर आप करें तो because the population is so big, there's so much real estate, so many agents. We launched this TikTok where you continue scrolling video tours of listings there first to see what's the retention, what's the churn, what's the conversion percentage. And we're very meticulously looking at those KPIs and metrics. So based on that, then we are now deciding when to roll out in Dubai. So it is definitely a very good testing ground with a much bigger, broader population.
I think that's a nice segue into talking a little bit more about your product, your company.
Yeah.
It is a platform. It is a marketplace. You need to drive engagement on both sides.
Tell me about it.
Not easy sometimes, and when it works, it starts working.
Yeah.
But you're probably at the stage where you have to put more effort in to keep the wheel churning, as they say.
Yeah. You have to get that flywheel spinning. जब वो शुरू हो जाए तो फिर everything starts to go up. So we are a video real estate platform. We are a two-sided marketplace. We have agents who are uploading the video tours of listings. And then we have the customers who are looking at it. And then if they like what they see, they'll click email, call, and WhatsApp. Ironically, the other big player in this game is also Pakistani, Haider Khan, who's the founder of Viewit.
Yes.
And his brothers are running Zameen in Pakistan, which is the only property portal out there.
Yeah.
It has dominated the market. And they've done well. Shout out to them. They've done really well. But yeah, so a two-sided marketplace. Getting the agents on board is relatively easier than getting good traffic to the site. So initially, the way we got agents on board, the way I used to do it, I used to cold call. I used to go to the office. Normally एक ऐसा स्क्रीन होता था वहाँ पे आप अपना लैपटॉप लगाओ उनको पिच करो कि please use it, it's really interesting. What we also built was a mobile listing application. This will resonate more with anyone who's in real estate. So the way that you list properties today, whether it's in Dubai, Pakistan, even US, UK, is via a desktop solution or a web app, right? Which normally works better on a desktop. So you have to put in all the information. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes.
For a single listing?
For a single listing.
Wow.
You have to transfer the photos from your phone to your laptop. और अगर आप उस iOS OS X environment में नहीं हो, तो you have to do it via Bluetooth or Google Drive, whatever, or WhatsApp or whatever it is. So then you have to do all that. And so it's a long, tedious, very pointless thing. For some reason, all these huge portals and CRM companies didn't come up with a mobile listing solution. I said, "Kyun? I'm going to do it." So that's the first app that I built. So we built a mobile listing application where you can easily upload video tours.
And how long does that take?
Less than 5 minutes. Thank you for asking that question. Yeah. We also have an AI description generator where, so just imagine a very simple form. You put in the bedroom, bathroom size, price, the permit number. We're fully integrated with the Dubai Land Department. So आप permit number डालो, वो QR code खुद से आ जाता है listing पे. And then you come down, you put in the title, 3-bed in the Springs, beautiful layout, big garden, blah, 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 facing the park and pool. Then you come to the description and you have to sit and type normally.
Yes.
with us, you just click a button and it comes. It's SEO optimized as well.
Beautiful.
We've just integrated 3.5 GPT 3.5 Turbo. And it comes up, you're good to go. You go next, you drop the video from your phone or from your laptop. We have a desktop CRM as well. And then you go next, you add the location, and you're done. So less than 5 minutes. That was the main impetus of the idea कि इतना time नहीं लगना चाहिए.
आप तो मुझे मोटिवेट करें साइड हसल आई कैन बिकम एन एजेंट.
हाँ बिल्कुल प्लीज. आई विश. बहुत आसान है. आप कोई भी उनसे बन सकते हैं.
That's nice. Maybe that's the target market.
Well, yeah. Agents are tough. So that because I ran an agency, वो domain expertise थोड़ी बहुत थी, तो I understood.
You understood the pain points.
I understood the pain point because I did it. I did it for my agents. I did it for myself. And then getting the customers to the platform is hard because Google is the substrate within which we all have to operate, or they are difficult. Google has made a business out of charging the small, medium, big guys an arm and a leg for those specific keywords. So obviously, Viewit and Property Finder are giants. They have infinite money as far as we are concerned. We're a tiny startup. They can continue pouring money into that's another thing Techstars taught us. Ki bhai, aapko kya karna hai? You just want to shovel money into Google and Facebook's mouth, or do you want to actually innovate and do something new and different? You don't have to be within this box. आप कर सकते हो, बहुत कर सकते हो. Don't think that you are limited. But unfortunately, at this point, we have to work with Google. So we are working with Google Ads. We're working with Meta to bring traffic to the site. So that's the two-sided marketplace. And you have to avoid churn on both sides. You have to continue collecting revenue from the customer so that you can feed the ads and deliver them leads. And that is basically the value chain or the circle that we need to maintain.
So tell me about the highs and tell me about the lows. Because there's both as a founder.
Yeah.
You
lows to बहुत हैं. Lows to I can go on and on. I've had really bad. I had my laptop stolen once.
Oh.
I did CapSat in 2022. Oof. Achha, this is a very quick story. मैं booth पे था अकेले again. And talking to anyone that would talk to me.
Yes.
Anyone wants to talk about Viewit, I'm all game. So anyway, I had gone because I was alone. I had to go. I wanted to grab a coffee. I went. बहुत दूर था. वापस आया. Laptop नहीं है. I asked my booth. Have you seen that? No, I've not seen it. Turns out some guy bloody picked it up and took off. Some guy. Yeah. और ये दुबई में होता ही नहीं है. Social experiment जो आप Instagram पे देखते हैं, but it's reverse. तो
it's the exception that proves.
Yeah, but big shout out to Dubai police. Huge shout out. वो because it was in Dubai World Trade Center, उन्होंने कैमरा के थ्रू देखा ये कौन है. They traced him all the way to the metro to where he lives.
Wow.
And actually, the first day, because I have an iPhone, I could track him. So I went outside his building and I stood there. But I didn't. Then I called the police. I said, look, I'm standing in front of the building. What should I do? They said, don't do anything. Just shut up and go home. Don't do anything. We'll take care of it. I said, I can see the guy on my phone. He's right there. Don't do anything. In fact, I called the wrong station. They're like, call the right station. Anyway. So anyway, long story short, then I got a senior officer assigned to the case.
Wow.
And they found it in the end. But then to get the laptop out of their, क्या कहते हैं उसको, jurisdiction, evidence, whatever, that took another 1.5 months. I had to go to court and submit an application and wait and go to the police station and blah, 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 blah. So महीने, 90 days back, मुझे अपना laptop वापस मिला, alhamdulillah. But shout out to Dubai police. Yeah. They found it in like 3 days.
Amazing.
It took me a month and a half to get it out. Or highs are getting into Techstars, achieving revenue, doing a bunch of these, these podcasts and things like that is really great. I was on TV actually on Thursday. Dubai TV called us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What else?
And you're a speaker at Jitex as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not a speaker. I'm on a panel.
You're on a panel.
On the 18th. Please come see us.
You're on the main stage, or is it?
I'm not sure. It's with
it's so huge now.
It's so huge now.
Yeah.
But North Star is different to GTEX. North Star is the startup area.
Yes.
13th to the 16th, we're going to be there as well.
Great.
Please come for that.
We'll be there as well.
You'll be there?
Yeah.
As Hub 47?
Hub 47 is there.
Great.
Yeah.
In
roaming around.
Oh, roaming around.
So we'll come to your booth.
Hall 6.
Hall 6?
Yeah.
Make note, guys.
Hall 6. Yeah. Please come and visit us. And yeah, there's going to be a bunch of startups. I think we're doing a startup competition as well. Yeah, I'm doing that. And then on 27th, 28th of October, I'm flying to Saudi for PropTech Summit,
Okay.
where again we're on a panel.
Okay.
So good things are happening.
This is great, mashallah. You've established yourself as an authority in
Yeah.
this space.
But again, as a footnote to this, actually, Techstars ये भी कहते हैं कि भाई don't get distracted with all this.
Let's talk. I think lows में आदत है ये, but till it doesn't become a high fundraising.
So we raised, alhamdulillah, through Techstars. I had to set up a Delaware C Corp, but that was a big headache.
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone wants advice on Delaware setup, I'm the man. I've done it all pretty much by myself. We had a lawyer from In5 that helped us, but anyway, so we had to set up a Delaware C Corp, and then you have to. Techstars has a whole bunch of documentation that you have to do in order to give them the 6%, which we did.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get notarized documents from the U.S. Embassy and all this kind of stuff.
So all startups involved.
No, because we're the only non-U.S. one.
Okay. So
All the rest were. It was easy. They go to the like.
But the 6% is for all of the people who were accepted into the program.
Correct. Yeah.
They sell 6% of their equity to Techstars.
That's right. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So we raised some money from there. Then, the dream is that you have Techstars next to your name, your company name. People will start calling you. That did not happen. That does not happen mostly. It's a different day ever since we had the sort of crash with the interest rates and the inflation in the US and money dried up and all the crypto guys sucked all the life out of it. No offense to crypto, it's good, but a lot of money was spent on silly projects in 21, 22, and then 23, 24. Now slowly the market's starting to come back up. But fundraising is tough. It's really hard in Dubai. Very hard. बहुत मुश्किल है. They want to see a lot of revenue before they write a check. Now, anyone that's run a startup knows that making money is like the 7th of 10 steps to building a startup. पहले आपको product बनानी है, you have to get it out, get proof of concept, build an MVP and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to get revenue positive. Now, even after we're making revenue, we've been talking to a bunch of VCs locally. They're still not satisfied. And, you have to be doing exceptional growth. You have to be on that J curve or on the hockey stick on the way up. You have to hit that inflection point, which is when you get product market fit and all these other amazing things. But you won't get to that point unless you have runway.
That's especially challenging, provided that you are a platform who's looking to attract customers. That requires marketing dollars.
Yeah.
I can imagine that
Yes.
that conundrum.
Yeah, that is a challenge. But we're trying to figure it out in the best way that we can. We're optimizing SEO and blogs. We have a virtual agent like we discussed. So, but yeah, coming back to fundraising, it's really hard. It can be done. Some tech is favored more than others. Fintech is definitely much more favored. Crypto to some extent. Obviously AI. If you've built a foundation model, which I don't recommend, but if you want to get into that and it works and it's low cost, then you will definitely get funding. Mohammed bin Rashid Foundation does a lot of this kind of stuff.
Right.
They have an AI incubator actually in Emirates Towers.
Emirates Towers, yes.
So there are opportunities, but yeah, it's tough to raise in Dubai. If you want to raise, try and look at US. Even Europe has a lot of due diligence. आपको 6 महीने के लिए आपको KPIs, financials दिखाने until they write the first check. But US is the place.
US is the place.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think from where I sit, in investments and stuff, I'm looking at more and more players from the US who always been fundraising here, but थोड़ा सा dynamic change हो रहा है. Now they're looking to deploy as well. There might be opportunities that might pop up. But again, it's a process. It takes time. And we wish you success with that as well. Talking about AI a little bit and other aspects of product. I mean, I've always had this AI to hey, it's there you're using it. You've implemented it very nice way. I've looked at your product. I've looked at the demos.
Thank you.
I think it's great in terms of engagement. Once you have somebody there, I don't think they would want to go anywhere else, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the listings are there as well, of course, platform.
Yeah.
But the product is really nice. But what's next? How can you further innovate? I imagine, you know, AR, VR
Yeah.
to be something that's coming up.
Yeah.
Probably going to hit us fast. But do you think it will take time?
Yeah.
Maybe it's too early to get into that for you.
Yeah, Meta just released their glasses.
We saw that.
It's going to take time though. It's a
It's a-
prototype. I think it's still time. Apple Vision is there, but $3,000 for a headset. It's out of reach for most people. I think AR is still a while away. What is and in fact, one of the marketing heads of this company was a mentor at Techstars, is Matterport.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So Matterport, I think they got bought out for $2.6 billion by CoStar. You can fact check me on that, but they have a really cool technology where you take a camera, it goes 360, you make a doll house of that room using LiDAR technology, and then you can move around that room. You click that little circle. Everyone's seen it on the
It's
Viewit
great.
Property Finder. So that's really interesting technology. I don't like it personally. I know that people do like it, but I don't think it's a good discovery thing. So I think that is on our roadmap if it's part of your mobile phone. If you need a separate device to do anything nowadays, it's not going to hit mass adoption. So that's the thing. There's two real parts in real estate portals, right? There's discovery and viewing. So how do you discover real estate normally, right? Like you'll go to a platform, you'll see the same thing. You'll see a search bar, उसके नीचे आपको filters मिलेंगे, bedroom, bathroom, price, location, whatever. और फिर आप देख लेते हैं one by one, and then you sit with your family and look at this house and then the next. There's no organic way of looking at it. So that's a discovery. The viewing is obviously, as I said, less than 10% are video or 360 or whatever it is. So you'll again look at 10, 12, 15 images. The thing that we think is the future and what we're building is like I said, the TikTok of real estate. So you continue scrolling video tours of listings. This increases retention. It increases conversions. And it builds a better connection with the property and with the agent. So we encourage our agents, if you go to Viewit AE, you'll see a lot of those videos have the agent in the video, which helps to bring up their brand. You know, Meta has cornered this market, and now TikTok as well, ByteDance, where they own this thing. But why can't we do it for real estate? Why should everything be relegated to these two platforms, TikTok and
Definitely. There's I think that's the next phase where you have what do you call it, segmentation and all of this. And people looking at real estate. It's kind of a hobby for some people as well. You like to look at real estate. I think it's something innate in us.
Absolutely.
That you want to see that place that you want to live in or you want to explore. शाम को आप scroll करो तो ठीक है घर देख लेते हैं कुछ. And it would be really interesting how you develop that into a feed. Generally is general, but how do you curate that to showing people what they want to see?
Thank you for asking that question. We're building it through Azure. There's an ML studio that we're building out still. Hopefully it'll be ready for GTEx. It's where as you continue scrolling, the right listing will find you. That was our pitch at Techstars, where we said scroll into your next home with Viewit. So you continue scrolling. As I said, now agar aap jate hain Property Finder pe, you'll go through a bunch of listings and you'll by your own choice you'll find something. Lekin why not by the choice of the ML? Or by organically you find something which you never would have thought of that you would find. So that's what we're working on. Now, let's see if it works.
Nice.
We have it running in Pakistan, but there's no ML behind it, machine learning recommendation engine. But वो भी वहाँ पे भी launch करने वाले हैं. So that is, I think, hopefully what the future is.
Okay.
But I could be right or could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the market says.
I think it is. I would say, I would assume that you will get that. Because just looking at that, I think I saw a video where there was a demo of that feature of scrolling, and I immediately downloaded the app trying to check it out. It wasn't there, obviously, because Dubai wale mein nahi hai shayad.
You can download the Pakistan one.
Okay, I can download. Okay, so I downloaded the
you should
Dubai
have asked
one.
me how to send it. Yeah.
But it's like I want to do that. I want to get on that. Dopamine addiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Dopamine
Exactly.
addiction.
Everyone's chasing that dopamine. Right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
short attention span. So
Looking for something to catch my eye.
And yeah, I mean, our generation, or at least I'm old. My generation is slowly moving out. Younger generation is coming into this real estate market.
Yes.
Why should we give this outdated, crusty old system to them? Here's a new system. Try it. It's exactly like what you do. 6, 10, 12 hours a day. Scroll on TikTok. Scroll and this. Look for your next house. Yeah.
I think that's great.
Whatever.
Okay.
Great.
So, I think we've covered your product. We've covered fundraising. We've covered Techstars. What's next for Viewit?
What's next is we're going to continue to build and iterate the product in Dubai. As well in Pakistan, people want us to come to Lahore and Islamabad. But we want to focus on these two markets. Everyone wants us to come everywhere. Every GTEX, every step, every Techstars, every event that we do, and we do a lot of events. People say, when are you launching in X country? I think now, at the behest of my co-founders also, let's focus on the product. Let's focus on the markets that we're in. Let's not spread ourselves too wide. So that's Dubai is our focus. We're going to launch Sharjah soon as well.
Nice.
But of course, we want to launch everywhere. We definitely want to be in the States. But let's get the product right. Let's get that inflection point. Inshallah, God willing.
Inshallah.
And then the sky's the limit.
MashaAllah, हमारी this छोटी सी conversation में what I'm seeing is the ingredients are there. You are perseverant. You're persevering in your idea. You are steadfast. You're like focusing on it. There's a lot of passion. I think that's important in the success of any business. That's different as well. There's no doubt that the market is huge. Even in Dubai, कल मैं पढ़ा था, this quarter itself $36 billion worth of transactions, which is an all-time record. So the market is there. You are different. You're trying to do something unique, and you're continuously developing your product to make it better. So inshallah, no doubt in my mind that it should be successful, and you hit your milestone, and we wish you all the best as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming here, sharing your thoughts. We will definitely stay in touch. We hope you keep stay in touch with Hub 47 as well. आप आएँ, contribute करें, will become part of our community.
I'd be happy to. This is great. Very nice. Yeah. And I'm happy to support in any way that I can.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.